Foam rolling is one of the most important things you can do, especially for the cost of it. You can buy one of these foam rolls for about $20, $25, and the benefits you're going to get in terms of flexibility, recovery, and overall feel of the body, the tissues, is immense. So I highly recommend buying one of these if you don't have one already. This is if you're doing just a lower body only day, you can actually use this. I still would recommend starting though with the upper back. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my butt up, I'm going to put the pressure on the foam roll, and I'm going to pull my arms forward so that I pull my shoulder blades around a little bit. And I'm going to go back and forth, probably 8 times or so up and down through my upper back. Now, if I want to angle it off a little bit, I can turn side to side and actually change the pressure of where I'm working to get to the tight muscles. As you do this, you are really searching for the spots that are tender, the spots that hurt. Those are the places and the spots that you want to spend more time on. So go slowly, don't rush, nice and smooth, search for the bad spots. Second thing I'm going to do after I roll my upper back is I'm going to put my hands behind my head, and I'm actually going to turn over so that the pressure is almost right below and behind my armpit. Once you find that spot, you can work on turning over and back. You can also go up and down a little bit right there, trying to work that muscle out. Now, if this is one of the spots that is really, really tender, if it's really painful, that means you need to spend more time on it. What I usually recommend people do is put the pressure on and then hold for a little bit to try to get it to relax, 15, 20 seconds. And then you can go a bunch of short little rolls, even up to as many as 20, to try to get it to loosen up. At that point, you probably aren't going to get it any better than it's going to be. So don't sit there and spend 5 minutes on a given spot. I'll do this on both sides. I'm not going to do it for the sake of the video, but I do it on both sides. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work onto my butt. When you get onto your butt, you're actually going to start on the side of the hip. So I'm going to prop myself, I'm going to turn myself over a little bit onto my left side, and I'm going to roll up and down, once again searching for the bad spots. Same thing, probably around 8 rolls or so. If you find a really tender spot, you can work up on it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cross my leg up. Okay, and this opens the hip up a little bit. And I'm going to roll back and forth on this. Same thing, searching for those tender spots, those bad spots. Once I'm done that on both sides, I'm going to go onto the back of my upper leg. So I'm going to roll my hamstrings. I'm going to go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. If you want to put more pressure on one leg, you can cross a leg up. You can turn inside and outside to change the pressure of the angle depending on where you are most sore. Same thing right there. Hamstrings usually aren't too bad on people. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go onto the side of the upper leg. Now the side of the upper leg in the IT band region is actually one of the most tender spots people find. So if it's really, really painful, first thing I want you to do is I want you to start by crossing your up leg over. So if I'm on my side of my left leg, I'm going to bring my right foot up and cross it over. Now the pressure can be taken off my left leg by putting it on my right. And I'm going to roll up and down and up and down and up and down. Same thing. You find a really tender spot, put a little bit of pressure on it, and then some nice short rolls. If this isn't too bad at this point, you can progress where you have both legs down. At that point, that's where that's where you stop. You can keep rolling on it, but there's no more progressions to add more tension really. Now, as you get close to the knee on rolling the IT band, you want to work in a little bit. So I don't want to be sitting like this where I'm facing up. I actually want to turn down as I get close to that knee. Once again, search for those tender spots up toward the top of the hip, down toward the knee. Do not roll over the kneecap. After that, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto my quads, the front of my legs. So I'm just going to prop myself up, and I'm going to roll forward and back. Once again, you can turn the leg out a little bit to get a little bit more to the inside. You can kind of pick one leg up to get a little bit more pressure on one leg. And you're going to work back and forth on that. Same situation. After I finish that, I'm actually going to work onto my calves. So I'm going to work onto the back of my legs. When I hit that point, prop myself up, pick my butt up off the ground. I'm going to roll from just below the knee to just above the heels. Now you can add more pressure by crossing a leg over. Same thing, if I find a tender spot, I'm going to try to go back and forth on it up to as many as 20 times, trying to get that pressure off. Next spot, side of the lower leg, the perineals. I'm going to work this the exact same way I work the IT band. I'm going to pick myself up, I'm going to cross one leg over, and I'm going to roll up and down, searching for the tender spots. If I need more pressure, I'm going to stack my leg. After that, I'm actually going to go face down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the adductors, part of the adductors, the inner thigh, okay? And this is one of the most avoided areas, in particular in basketball and hockey players. They don't get a lot of attention. So I'm going to take the foam roll, I'm going to put it parallel with my body, almost like I'm starting a push-up. I'm going to prop my left leg up on the inside, so I'm bringing it up to about hip height. Prop the inside of the leg right on the roll, and I'm going to pick myself up, and I'm actually going to roll side to side on the inside of this thigh. Same situation, don't roll over the knee, roll just to the inside. A lot of people tend to be really, really tender as you get down around that knee on the inside of those quads, and that's really where you want to pay attention to. Hold on the spots, same thing, multiple rolls. Lastly, for the lower body, I want to take the foam roll. If I have a bench or a chair, I'm actually going to prop myself up on it, and I'm going to turn myself over on the inside of my leg. So if my left leg is the leg that I'm rolling and I'm way up deep on the inner thigh, I'm actually going to turn the foam roll slightly out to the side, and I'm going to turn myself forward and back and in and out. So I can roll up and down a little bit and roll over and back on it. Now this is going to put the pressure high up on the adductors. You really, really don't need to roll much. You're kind of just searching for those tender spots, and you really want to put pressure on those spots. That's the lower body foam rolling circuit.